Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG. That is me. Good Wednesday evening, everyone. Thank you to all of my loyal listeners and my loyal YouTube subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is 2021. Happy New Year. Well, it looks like to me, and this is my opinion. Of course, you are listening to PG with Unapologetic Tea Time. I am your host. But my opinion of 2021 so far is the leftover fuckery of 2020 that has spilled over into 2021. Yes, indeed, to say the least. Well, I'm not going to tarry this evening because we got quite a bit I want to cover. And as you can see, the title and the banner says 45 and Cult starts Civil War on January 6th of 2021. And January 6th of 2021 is today, Wednesday, the 6th day of January and the year 2021. And we are still in the middle of a global pandemic. I watched things unfold today, throughout the day, into this early evening. And as I talked about on some of my previous vlogs and podcasts from last year, I talked about a civil war rising and a civil war that probably would pop off at any given moment. And as we certainly see, it has definitely popped off. Hey, Tim, Happy New Year to you. Glad that you can pop in and say hello. Glad to have you. It, ladies and gents, boys and girls, has truly been a tumultuous first 6 days of this new year. I cannot even describe some of my feelings that I felt today, but I'm going to try to share some commentary and some thought with you without hesitation. What is a civil war exactly? A civil war in itself, y'all, is a violent conflict that is most often organized between groups within the same state or the same country. And that's done in order to take over power or to change government policies. And why, you say, a civil war? Civil wars break out because, like I just said, is to change government, to overthrow government, to grab power, to hold on to power, and because of greed. All of that is why civil wars break out. Now, as far as storming the nation's capital, and as we say, breaching one of our most sacred and coveted places in our history is our nation's capital, where our laws are made and our democracy is upheld, or shall we say, supposed to be upheld. We as a nation should now have a clear picture of just how fragile our democracy all really is. It is very fragile. And unfortunately, it is beginning to break down little by little. And my opinion is especially because of the dotard in chief, the orange buffoon, number 45. This man is a danger to society in general and to our great nation as we know it, the United States of America. The Republicans know it. The Democrats know it. The progressives know it. The conservatives know it. The liberals know it. The no parties know it. The non-voting people know it. And every foreign nation and every foreign country around this globe knows it. We are truly, truly vulnerable, and we are truly in trouble if we do not get a handle on this and put things like this to rest quickly, swiftly. And we must do it in an order that has already been written out for us in our Constitution. We must uphold the Constitution of the United States of America, and we must not, as a people and as a nation, continue to let our democracy erode right in front of our faces. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how poor you are. I don't care how in between you are. I don't care if you're white, black, green, purple, people eaters. It does not matter. The place that we call home, the good old US of A, is in deep trouble, y'all. And what we have seen today so far, and what we have seen for the last nearly 4 years, is unconscionable. There were bad presidents before, but none have we seen like we have seen in these last 4 years. No one breaks this fucking record. This man, if you want to call him a man, I don't know what he is. He's more like an animal to me. A predator, somebody in the wild, someone who doesn't give a damn, only cares about himself, not his family, not his friends, not his constituents, and certainly he does not give a damn about his country. Nor does he give a damn about the office of the president, because if he did, he would not have done many of the things that he has done since he has been in office. It is very unfortunate that we, the people, have to suffer in the middle of a pandemic and see people suffering, dying, being evicted, and all because of this one individual. Whoever Dare Robertson is, if you don't get the fuck off my channel, you will be blocked. I'm not for it today. I don't mind someone voicing their opinions, but when you outright know you're wrong and you know that you're following a bunch of lies, you're not welcome here. Now you take that fucking shit somewhere else. I'm talking to you. Get your ass off my channel. I'm giving you opportunity to do so. If you're not going to get off my channel, you can be a bot or whatever, your ass will be blocked. Now I'm going to Count to 5. I'm going to continue saying what I want to say on my channel. Go start your own fucking channel and go give your own fucking opinion about this dotard and chief motherfucker that y'all call a president who is not a fucking man. He's a pussy. Get off my channel right now. Okay? You have alts. You can have whatever the fuck you want, but in 2 to 3 minutes, you must not know the PG. I'm going to block your ass. You can keep coming on if you want to, but you're not going to be on YouTube very long. Play with me. You got the right one, baby, today. You got the right one. Now keep it up. Okay, you sporty, huh? You want to be sporty? All righty then. Right, like I was saying, y'all, it is what it is. But unfortunately, we know. And if you don't know, I'm going to let you know, because I'm always going to inform my loyal YouTube subscribers that the 25th Amendment for this motherfucker is not going to fly. The reason it's not going to fly is because Mike Pence would have to agree with the rest of the constituents on Capitol Hill that this man is unfit to carry out or to continue to carry out the few weeks left of his duties in office. And more than likely, we already know that Mike Pence is not going to want to get involved in that, nor will there probably be enough of a majority to carry forth trying to go through the 25th Amendment. However, the laws of impeachment still stand. And because the laws of impeachment still stand, thank God, and they came about because of the assassination of Kennedy and were revised in 1967, that the House can actually overnight draw up the articles of impeachment and walk them over to the Senate side and ask to have a hearing to try to have him impeached. But with only a short period of time left, I don't think that that will be, something that they're going to take up. Who knows? I don't know, because I'm not there. I'm not in their minds, and I do not reside, and I no longer work for the House of Representatives. So with that being said, we'll have to, I guess, wait it out and see. However, I will say this. These next few weeks are going to determine how our nation will move forward from here on out, and what is going to set the tone for these next 4 years. I say to Uncle Joe and Kamala, I say to, kiddingly, I say to President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, eat your Wheaties, because you got your work cut out for you. Get your rest, take your vitamins, take your supplements, your B12s, and everything that you can think of to do. Go have your checkups, keep getting your checkups and everything, and try to remain safe. Increase your security and everything else, because who knows what's going to happen next. But I say to you, President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris, do not lose this opportunity to seize and take control over what needs to be handled swiftly and professionally. Things have to move in the right direction and quickly. The whole world is watching the United States of America. The seditious ways and rhetoric of 45 cannot continue to be moving forward when we're trying to move forward and get ready to receive our new president and vice president. And by the way, congratulations to Senator Warnock, and congratulations to Senator Ossoff. You guys ran a great campaign, I think, and history has been made here again in the state of Georgia, as we all know, the Peach State. In any election, in any game, any sports game, whatever, whether you're playing chess or checkers, whether you're playing old maids or charades, someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. That's just the way it is. Back to the word sedition. The word sedition, y'all, has been used a lot here lately. And some of my viewers and some of my folks that may pop in from time to time may or may not actually realize what seditious or sedition means. So I'm going to break that down for you also, so that you are going to be in the know, because this is Unapologetic Tea Time with your host, PG. And as y'all know me, I don't sugarcoat it, but I make sure that you are informed, not uninformed. Sedition, in my opinion, or in my words, the meaning of sedition is to conduct or incite people to rebel against authority, whether it's by conduct or whether it's by speech or both. Basically, it's an attempt to overthrow the government. And yes, y'all, it is a crime. It's actually a felony crime. And it is definitely punishable by a prison sentence. Whether or not people receive prison sentences all the time for sedition or things that could be possibly borderline seditious, yes and no. But this right here, y'all, the things that we have seen here recently and throughout 45's tenure in office is beyond criminal to me. It's not just criminal in nature. It is criminal. And if we let this one person who is dumber than dumb get away with this, sooner or later, 12 years from now, 8 years from now, 16 years from now, whatever, there's going to be a smart fucker that's going to be a twin to Donald Jackass Trump. And if you think Trump did us damage and did this country wrong. You ain't seen nothing yet. We got to get a handle on it right now so we can send a message that it will not be tolerated, because we have tolerated way too much from this one individual. We can't go on with another individual even thinking about being groomed to cut up and be cut up from the flow up and tear this country up like this man has. We cannot. It could be a man or a woman. It don't matter. It could be someone who's transsexual, bisexual. Don't matter. We cannot let this happen anymore. We can't let it happen. And the way to cut it out is with laws, and for us to come together as a people and say at the ballot boxes and the voting polls that we are not going to tolerate it. The ones in Congress, the ones at the local government who have done the citizens wrong and continue to do these crazy things to destroy this country and to destroy this democracy, we must get their asses out of office. We must not even let them get in office these next times in the midterms of 2022. We cannot let this happen. So I invite each and every one of you to do what you need to do, is to continue to be on the voters registration, to be a voter, to encourage your young folks that may be in your family or maybe friends of yours, family members, distant family members. Encourage them to register to vote. Get them to the polls when there's time to vote and vote. Get them to the council meetings. Get them to wherever they need to go in order to voice their opinions, but yet do it peacefully. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. But at the end of the day, we can all agree to disagree and move forward. Because at the end of the day, we all have to still live in the United States of America, where we reside. We live here. We don't live in Africa. We don't live in Egypt. We don't live in Italy. We don't live in France. We don't live in the Canary Islands. We live in the United States of America. We live in Alaska. We live in Puerto Rico. We live in Virginia. We live in Georgia. We live in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, North Dakota, South Dakota, New York, New Jersey, Las Vegas, Oklahoma, Arizona. We live here. Disloyalty to the U.S. Constitution and failing to uphold your oath in office and trying to undermine the lawful results of a lawfully conducted election is a crime. Calling up the Secretary of State and whomever else and trying to coerce them in to doing some jugged up fuckable bullshit is a crime. Punishable by serving time in prison and a fine. We cannot let people like Donald Jackass Buffoon Trump continue to do these things and not be held accountable. I watched today, y'all, as the violence unfolded and as these people struck the Capitol Police, the Capitol Security, and went basically hand to hand with them. I watched them some with fear in their eyes, push back against the mob, push back against the domestic terrorists that they are. These were not peaceful protesters. They don't fit the description, and they damn sure do not fit the definition. But I watched, and having worked for 13 plus years in DC, I know for a fact that the Capitol Police has a large force. And if for some unknown reason that this force was not available today, then something was certainly wrong. And I saw something wrong with the amount of personnel that seemed to be available or on hand or on staff or on duty today. I had never seen, during my tenure there, and as a freelance photographer going to lots of inaugurations after, I'd never seen that few law enforcement personnel that were Capitol Police in attendance for a rally or a demonstration that was going to be held or whatever. I'd never seen that few people. Something just didn't seem right to me. Maybe of course, I know that some of the law enforcement, the Capitol Police and personnel, are loyal cult followers, perhaps, loyal Trump supporters, perhaps, but I needed you today we all as citizens of this great nation needed you to be there and do your fucking job first. Just like Secret Service, they have to say that they would lay down their life for the president or in protection of the president of the United States. The Capitol Police, basically the same. And above all, to protect and serve. What happened? Why did they not have enough personnel? It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that there were going to be lots of people coming to Washington. It did not take a rocket scientist to have to use a calculator to figure out that perhaps the crowd was going to be unruly. You didn't have to be a Rhodes Scholar to figure this out. That they were going to need all hands on deck just in case. Just in case, because you had a asinine president keep drilling and drilling into the heads of weak-ass individuals to get them to somehow believe that he needed their help so much so in staying in office. He wants to stay in office so that he's not prosecuted. That's the reason. He wants to stay in office because he doesn't want all of his records to become public, that can become public, and the truth comes out. He doesn't care about you. Matter of fact, the majority of you cult followers of Trump, if he saw you lying down in the street, he would walk right over you as though you were a part of the street. You think he would even lend a hand to your ass? Hell no. This man cares nothing about you. Nothing at all. How rich have you gotten? Have you been able to get off of your food stamps? Have you been able to get off of your welfare? Have you been able to get out of the minimum wage job perhaps that you hold, or the 2 or 3 of them, to try to make ends meet in Mississippi, in some of these rural areas that are nothing but Trump supporters? You haven't gotten any better off in 4 years. You probably have gotten worse off. How many of you are really on Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act? But when people would tell you that you were on Obamacare, you didn't even know the fucking difference. And there was no difference between the Affordable Health Care Act and the acronym that they call Obamacare. How many of you can afford to pay for your health care? How many of you that continue to support this idiot that left your house and cost this woman her life? How many of you is doing real fucking good? How many of you that this man has made such an impact on your fucking quality of life? How many of you? How dare you to come on my channel and tell me that you have? Because I know you're fucking lie. If you're upper middle class, or if you 6+ figures, then you are already doing okay. All right? But I'm talking about the people that's making less than $30,000 a year. I'm talking about the people that's making under $20,000 a year, that ain't never made more than $30,000 in their whole lifetime of working per year. How many of you have come up and been pulled up by the bootstraps? How many? How many? Not many, because you're not in his scope. You're not in his view. You don't mean shit. You're an underling. You're worthless to him. You're a piece of trash to him. Even though you may be the same fucking color, you're nothing to him. He don't give a fuck about you. This motherfucker wouldn't even. Months went by. The House of Representatives signed off on a bill and agreed to give you a decent amount of stimulus money and a decent stimulus package to get things rolling again, to help. How many countries that are smaller than the United States of America? How many? You can't even count them. That are constantly giving their people subsidies and stipends every month, or bi-monthly, or every 90 days. The United States had the mitigated gall to give us $600. And some of us, because we make a little too much, couldn't even get $600. But yet it's costing some of us who make a little bit more, even more to live during this pandemic. You know, it's sinful for you to sit and think that this man has done you good, and you carry your asses to DC and our most sacred, coveted fucking building that fucking slaves built. No, slaves built with their fucking hands, their bare fucking hands. They didn't have fucking machines back then. They built the nation's capital. They built that fucking building. They built the rotunda. They built the halls of Congress. They built that. But yet, you go there and you try to breach that. And I watch Capitol Police afraid of you, looking you in your eyes. It was sinful today. But Let me tell you something. I'm going to say something. And yes, I'm of a mixed race, and I don't give a good goddamn who don't like it. But I'm going to tell you like it T.I. is on Unapologetic Tea Time today. I watched when they pushed the Capitol Police back and they fought those people hand to hand. They had their weapons and they could have drawn down on them. This motherfucker who was at the fucking window trying to pull the damn window out the socket of the building because of his skin color. With their weapons drawn, they did not fire when they had all right to fire their weapons because it was being breached. Okay? But they didn't because of the color of their skin. That's why. Had it been me, there'd have been a whole lot of bloodshed today. Had it been somebody that looked like me, I shudder to think what might not have happened. It's sinful. Don't come on my channel and don't fucking text me. Don't call me. Don't email me. Talking about, well, Pat, you know, when you start on Donald, I'm not going to listen. I don't give a fuck. Because if you're honest and you stand in your truth, you know that you're wrong. You're wrong. I don't care if he was black and cutting a fucking fool like this man, I would call that ass out just as well. I don't fucking care. Because, see, my father was white. Lily white. Okay? Yes, he was in the house with my mama because he was married to her. I buried both of my parents before I was 30. I lived in the fucking 60s when they wrote nigger lover on my fucking front yard and set it afire. I was there in the house with my mama and daddy because it was just me. I'm an only child. When they tried to burn that motherfucker down with us in it. All because my daddy married a black woman. See, back in the 60s and the 50s and shit, that was unheard of. Okay? You had to watch where you went. You had to tip lightly. See? But today, I saw fear in the police eyes against these people. And somebody can send this to CNN. They could send it to Don Lemon. They could send it to Chris Cuomo. I don't give a damn. You could send it to Donald Trump. I don't care. Matter of fact, tell his ass to call me. See, Brad is a Republican. Raffensperger, see, they taped that ass because they knew. Had they not, they was going to flip the script on that ass. But they taped him. See, in the state of Georgia, you only need to let one party know. And that could be your party. See, you ain't got to let the other motherfuckers know that you're taping a conversation. But all I'm saying is it would have been a whole lot more bloodshed had the skin tone been a little darker. Also, and that's all I'm saying about that. But it's a crime that this man has committed. He committed 2 crimes on Saturday, turned right a fucking round on Tuesday, and committed more crimes to incite a fucking overthrow of the government. Turned around on Wednesday when the shit popped off and refused to go on fucking national TV and call them motherfuckers out and tell them to stop. But what did he do? Finally went and said a little statement and said, called for just peacefully protest and don't do that and crazy shit. Say what you fucking mean and mean what you say. Stand in your truth. But you know, see, a sociopath and narcissists love shit like this. See, a sociopath that he is also is fucking dangerous. They'll murder your fucking ass, turn right around and get together with a whole bunch of other people and form a search party for your fucking body. And be out there looking in the fields and in the ditches and the canals and in under tree trunks and trying to find you. You know? No, Joe Cope, whoever you are, I'm not. No, y'all ain't calling in tonight. No. No, whoever you might be, Joe Cope. I don't even know you. But that's the kind of shit that trips out people and that makes people do some of the things that they do. See? 25th Amendment, like I say to my folks, if you're thinking and you're hearing this craziness, 25th Amendment ain't going to work. We only got a few more days left. But like I say, there is no statute of limitations on let me tell you something, Joe. You on my channel. This is unapologetic tea time, and I can do what the hell I want to do. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you what you going to do, Joe. This is what you going to do. I want you to listen real good. Bye-bye. But like I say, it is what it is. And 25th Amendment, that's out. The impeachment part, there's no time frame, just to wait around and let's see, are we him and haw about impeachment? The House of Representatives, like I said, can draw up the articles of impeachment tonight and walk it over to the Senate in the morning if they so choose. That's how fast that they can do an impeachment. But whether or not the Senate is going to go along with it, you saw what happened the last time, but he was still impeached. Okay? That's that. I don't know what it's going to take, y'all. And yes, I get very emotional about topics like this because it affects ordinary, everyday people that try to do the right thing, and it's still not enough. You try to do the right thing, and you got thugs and vigilantes and mobsters that want to walk all over you. And because you won't let them, then they got a problem. Then you got to fight with them. That's not cool with me. Not at all. Happy New Year to y'all. It is a brand new year. And look what we got going on already. 6 days. 6 little days into the year. 6 days. I want to take this time right now to get off a little bit of the politics part and to try to pull myself back together, as well as to encourage my listeners, my new subscribers perhaps, and whomever that pops in that happens to happen upon this in a future time or future date in the very near future. I want to share with you right now Since it's 6 days into the new year, I want to share with you 6 positive words. 6 positive words. The first word I want to share with you for the 6 days that we are in this new year is the word persevere. The word persevere. As you know, or may not know, and I'm not trying to slight anyone, but I want to make sure that when you get information from me, you get everything that you need to move forward with it. The word persevere is a verb, and the word persevere means to continue in a course of action, even in the face of difficulty. We will, as a nation, persevere. We, as a people, will persevere. The next word that I want to share with you is the word beauty. And we know that the word beauty is a noun. The word beauty is a quality, or the meaning of beauty is a quality that I would describe it as a quality, or a combination of qualities that gives pleasure to the mind or the senses. Joyous is the next positive word. Joyous is an adjective, feeling, showing, or causing joy. Effortless. Effortless is an adjective. That's my next word. That's positive. Calling for, or requiring, or showing little or no effort. It does not take much effort to be nice. Doesn't take much effort to be peaceful. It does not take much effort to show empathy to someone or something. My next word for you in the 6 positive words that I have that I wanted to share tonight is the word wonderful, which is an adjective. And I would describe or give you the meaning of wonderful as being admirable or very good, excellent, or splendid. My last word that I want to share in my 6 words of positivity, or 6 positive words in the 6 days of this new year, is magnificent, which is also an adjective. It is grand. It means grand or noble in appearance or outstanding, shall we say. The 6 words of positivity for the 6 days of this new year that I wanted to share was persevere, beauty, joyous, effortless, wonderful, and magnificent. And my closing quote is one of my favorite quotes that I want to share with everyone tonight. Is by Helen Keller. And the quote goes like this, y'all. A bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. Now, I'm going to say that again for you. Helen Keller once said, a bend in the road Now remember, y'all, she was blind. But she said a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. I want you to let that simmer for a minute. Let's leave that right there for a second. A bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. I love this quote because it says, it speaks volumes to me, because it grabs you when you think about it and you think about a mistake. Basically, it says that once you break this quote down and really get to the crux of it, it basically gives you the meaning of, or tells you, don't mistake a problem as the end of the world. Utilize the bend to learn from and move on with your journey. Okay? Let's say this again. Don't mistake a problem as the end of the world. Utilize the bend to learn from and move on with your journey. Remember, she said that a bend in the road is not the end of the road. Okay? And when I break it down a little bit further, I realize and I learned that she meant that the mistake or the problem, don't let that be the end of the world for you. Utilize the bend or that turn as a lesson and learn from it. And once you do that, then keep it moving. Keep on trucking down the road. Keep going. Go on, move on with your journey. Isn't that profound? From someone who was blind all their life, couldn't see or hear. That right there is something else. So I just had to, thinking about the Senate runoff to control the Senate with the Democrats on that side and the House, and with Kamala Harris being the deciding vote, the historical win for Reverend Warnock being the first Black senator in the state of Georgia, being a native of Georgia, and John Ossoff beating the incumbent that was a Republican, speaks volumes. But yet, there was definitely a bend in the road. But once Stacey Abrams got into the mix and started signing more people up to vote, learning from the bend in the road with her race for the governorship of Georgia, utilizing that bend that she encountered in the road to the governorship, we were able to learn from that bend in the road and to keep moving forward in our journey. So it came to pass last night that we were able, it was not the end of the world for Stacey Abrams. She went about it a little bit different. She learned from that bend in the road and went to work some more on that incomplete project that she was working on. Moved on with her journey and took other people also and helped them keep moving on in their journey as well. And what it did was it got them all the way to Washington, D.C. Isn't that great? Such a parallel, such a way, such a quote. How fitting of a quote that this is to use or to share today of all days. And in what we are living in right now, and the time that we're living in right now, it is not the end of the world. Yes, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Yes, we're in the middle of a tumultuous transfer of power that's not being done peacefully. Yes, we're almost at the brink of a civil war here on our own soil against each other. It is still not the end of the world. We can still learn something and we can continue on our journey. In closing, ladies and gents, boys and girls, I want to challenge all of my listeners, all of my YouTube subscribers. I want to challenge you to comment on this vlog, on this podcast. I want to challenge you to comment below in the comment section a positive, I only want one word, a positive word from you that starts with the first letter of your name. Can we do that? Can we share this moment? Can we share that together? Positivity. I myself am going to start it off. Y'all know me as PG. My first name is Pat. And I'm going to start it off. And the word that I am going to place in the comment section as my positive word is productive. Productive is my word that I'm going to share. That's my positive word that starts with the first letter of my name. Productive. The reason why I chose the word productive is because sometimes it's very difficult to be or to stay productive, whether it be as a productive citizen, as just a productive person, or to be productive in something. It's hard. You know, especially someone who suffers from depression and PTSD, it can be very difficult to be or to stay productive. I have some projects that's starting. I have a couple of them that I am working on, and I am trying to hold myself more accountable this year to finish things more in a timely manner, setting more short-term goals and breaking them down into little bitty chunks so that I am able to see them to fruition. Like I said, there's going to be a few new things coming to my channel. Please share my channel, my vlog. my podcast. Please like and please comment. I did, ladies and gents, have to block a few people, and that's fine and dandy. I'm sure it's probably based on the title, which is not clickbaity at all, but it's probably based on the title of this vlog, of this podcast, this live. It is what it is. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. I'm wishing that you will have a productive first month of this year, of this new year, and that whatever you want this year, step out on faith and try to obtain it, whether it's a new car, a new apartment, a new house, a new boat, a new motorcycle, a new bicycle, a new tricycle, whatever, new paint for your walls, a new rug. Step out on faith and know that it can be done, and that trouble doesn't last always. Can't say when it'll end because I have no way of knowing that. I don't have a crystal ball. Can't say that we will be in turmoil forever. Can't say that the pandemic will last forever. But trust and believe. If it begins, it will end at some point. Please wear your masks. Please continue to wash your hands. Please encourage family and friends and coworkers to do the same. We can get through this together if we all work together for the common good. Each one teach one, and the world will be a better place. Thank you so much for tuning in. You have been listening to PG with Unapologetic Tea Time. Bye now.